A couple of days ago, Kanye West put out an image on Instagram showing Adidas ranking above Yeezy.com. Kanye's site, Yeezy.com, Adidas ranked above it. And Kanye said, when you Google Yeezy.com, the Adidas site comes before the Yeezy site. Members at Adidas, stop doing this. Stop doing this. Your moves hold me back. Our partnership is done. You're a $60 billion company that froze my accounts. Now I'm back on my feet. No pun intended. So anyway, he wrote this long post about how Adidas is ranking on Google above Yeezy.com for Yeezy.com. Now, I first learned about this from a post on the entrepreneur subreddit, and someone said Kanye just pulled off the greatest SEO hack of 2025. And the person wrote, he recently posted on Instagram sharing his dissatisfaction with Adidas that their site comes before his when you Google his site Yeezy. Now, because of a few million fans typing it in unison on Google, testing out what he was saying, his site now comes before Adidas. Incredible. This was in real time within 20 minutes. So here's what's actually happening. Kanye's site, Yeezy.com, does not rank number one for Yeezy, but Kanye's original claim was that Adidas ranks number one for Yeezy.com. If you Google Yeezy.com, actually, Yeezy.com comes first. This may have been due to the fact that Kanye put out this image on Instagram, which he has since taken down, saying if you Google Yeezy.com, Adidas comes first. And it may be what this person on the entrepreneur subreddit suggested, that all these people Googled Yeezy.com, saw Adidas first, and then they clicked on Yeezy.com, and so Yeezy.com ranked first. Google does work like that. There's so many tests that show that Google works like that. But for the main keyword, because most people, they're not searching Yeezy.com, they're just going to Yeezy.com. If they're searching the brand name, they're searching Yeezy. And the crazy thing is Adidas ranks above Yeezy.com for the brand name Yeezy. Even though it's not Kanye West's original claim, it is still crazy. Kanye West has the exact match domain. He has Yeezy.com, yet Adidas ranks number one for Yeezy. And this is why this is. And when you actually dig into the details of why it is equally crazy. So the overview, basically what's happening, Kanye West, he put out this big post about how his site should be ranking number one for Yeezy, but his site is trading SEO for style. And you're going to learn exactly what I mean by that. His site is trading search engine optimization, performing well on Google in order to look cool in every way possible. That means minimal text, using different words, no pages. But first, even before starting with the on-site optimization, there's the off-site. And this is the reality due to the partnership that Kanye West had with Adidas. Adidas has like 4 times, I would say maybe 3 to 4 times, the anchor text, the exact match anchor text going to Adidas for the keyword Yeezy that Yeezy.com has. Anchor text is the text that goes over any link. If you say click here and that link goes to my website, click here is the anchor text. And so Adidas just has 4 times, 3 to 4 times as many links going to Adidas with the anchor text Yeezy than Yeezy.com does. And anchor text is extremely important in SEO. If you think about what it actually means, it's kind of like telling people what the site they're clicking on represents. So if you have a bunch of links, if you have way more links that point to Adidas saying Yeezy, well, that's just telling the Google, hey, this site really means Yeezy, even though it's Adidas. So that's number one, is that Adidas has 3 to 4 times the exact match anchor text that Yeezy.com has. And Yeezy.com still has a lot. It's just not as much as Yeezy. How about domain authority? Domain authority is when you have a bunch of links going to your site, especially authoritative links from authoritative websites, that increases your domain authority. You want to have as many authoritative links, relevant links pointing to your site as you can have. Domain authority, it's a score by Moz measured on 0 to 100. Ahrefs has domain rating. There's a bunch of similar scores, but I like domain authority from Moz. Yeezy's domain authority is 43 out of 100, which is pretty good. Adidas's domain authority is 91 out of 100, which is excellent. Almost as good as you can get. It is more than twice the domain authority that Yeezy has. So not only does Adidas have way more exact match anchor text than Yeezy has, but it's also a way more trusted site. But you know, the truth is that can be forgiven because Yeezy has the exact match domain. Yeezy.com matches the keyword Yeezy. So if he was to optimize his site properly, he still might be able to rank above Adidas for Yeezy. But this is what he did. And this is why I say he traded search engine optimization for style. Adidas has Yeezy in the page title, the meta description, and the copy of the page. Having the keyword in the page title, the meta description, the copy on the page, very, very, very important. Yeezy.com has the page title YZY. The meta description is also, it's just YZY. On the page, there are 0 words. Other than the GDPR warning, there are 0 words. All of the alt text. The alt text, there's pretty much no words in the alt text either. You could say these are clothes from Yeezy in the alt text. If you really wanted to hide words because you cared about style, you could at least use the alt text because the alt text isn't usually visible. But instead, this is what the alt text is. It's TS-0102, TS-0202, HD-0101, HD-0102 blank. It's things like this. And these are the representations for the clothes. I get it, but you could still put Yeezy in there. You could still put Yeezy in the alt text. So Yeezy isn't in the alt text. There's 0 words on the page. In fact, the words underneath each image, I believe they're part of the image. No. Okay, I'm looking at the HTML. I take that back. There are, I don't know if these are words, but there's text on the page. And the text is RC-01. It's just like the alt text. So you have minimal text on the page, a few characters, and the characters are seemingly nonsense to a crawler, to a search engine crawler like Googlebot. Either way, you don't have Yeezy anywhere on this site other than in the domain name. There's not a favicon on this site. That's fine, but it's not the best. If you wanted a minimal favicon, you could have like a white circle or a gray circle or something. Or you could change the favicon all the time. And I am seeing some logos on these clothes, so maybe one of these logos could work. But, it's really the alt text that is an example of this just minimal word design. That's what I'm going to call it, word design, where you have all of these items, all this alt text, and there's nothing in the alt text. There's not even the color. You don't have Yeezy in the alt text. You don't have Yeezy in the page title, the meta description. You don't have it anywhere on the page because there's really no text on the page other than RC-01 and all that stuff. And as an SEO, I get it. Like, I get the style choice, but it also kind of annoys me because this is one of those instances where it's so bad that it is literally getting in the way of Google doing its job. Google should actually be ranking this above Adidas for Yeezy. When you search Yeezy, this should come first. And I think if this site was better optimized for the keyword Yeezy, it would. Again, I get the trade-off, but this is why this is happening. This is why when you search Yeezy on Google, Adidas comes before Yeezy. And, on-page optimization, it's actually really simple to do. On-site, on-page optimization is really simple. If you want to target any keyword, and most websites, most webmasters and marketers, they don't know to do this. If you want to target any keyword, take that keyword, and I say this all the time because it's really this simple. Put it in your page title, your meta description, your URL slug, your H1, so the top title, and the beginning of your first sentence. That is 95% of the places that the keyword really needs to be. And nobody does that. Adidas, on the other hand, like I said, has it in its page title, has it in its meta description, has it in the text on the page. So if you add up everything together, it makes 110% perfect sense why Yeezy.com ranks below Adidas when you search Yeezy. The original claim was that if you search Yeezy.com on Google, Adidas ranks first. That is not the case. That may or may not be due to Kanye West's Instagram post about this, getting all of his people to search Yeezy.com and then click on Yeezy.com. My guess, though, my intuition says that Yeezy.com always ranked number 1 for Yeezy.com because Google is pretty good at intent mapping like that. If somebody is searching a domain on Google, they're most likely trying to get to that domain. So Google will show that domain first. But if that was not the case, if in fact Adidas before was ranking number 1 for Yeezy.com, it would have been for the reasons that I just described, but it is not ranking number 1 for Yeezy.com. Yeezy.com is ranking number 1 for Yeezy.com, but Adidas, like I said, ranks 1 for Yeezy, and now you know why. Because The choice was made to trade SEO for style. The ROI might be there. I don't know. I'm just explaining why this happened. And this is episode 556 of my daily digital marketing podcast. 556 days in a row doing this thing. I'm having fun. In fact, I'm going to start getting pretty big guests soon on the show. I'm not going to say anything yet. I'll have a friend on next week, though. His name is Jason Levin. You may have seen him on X. He has a decent following on X, and he makes awesome content about meme marketing. Meme marketing. He's going to share some good stories. I met him in person. A couple of years ago at Soho House in New York City, and he's awesome. He's on the landing page for my SEO program, Compact Keywords, compactkeywords.com. And then after that, it's going to start, I think it's going to start getting pretty crazy, but I don't want to say any names yet. So anyway, I'm so hyped. I thought this was a cool episode, a cool thing to explain. I made a short video about this 2 days ago about why Adidas is ranking number 1 for Yeezy. There were so many other aspects to it, like the alt text, the domain authority, how this could be improved. Anyway, I had fun explaining this. I hope you had fun listening. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.